students, welcome back to the science class. In this unit, you're going to learn about the diversity of life on Earth, their classifications, and how to conserve those biodiversity. So without further ado, let's begin our lesson. So, you're here to learn about the diversity of life on Earth. Earth has stuff like plants, like trees, flowers, and grass, water, like oceans, lakes, and rivers, animals like mammals, birds, and fish, and soil like rocks and minerals. All living things depend on each other and on the environment in which they live to supply them with what they need, including food, water, and shelter. Earth is a big place, and in ecology, we're trying to learn about the relationship of all things that live here and their surroundings. There are 5 levels of organizations. First, organisms. Second, populations. Third, community. Fourth, ecology or ecosystems. 5, biosphere. First, let's start with organisms. The organisms level is the first level of the organizations in ecology. An organism is one individual living entity, like plant, animal, or microscopic organisms. So it means you are an organism too. A group of organisms with similar morphology and sociology which can breed together to produce fertile offspring is called as species. The next level of organizations is population. A population is a group of individuals of the same species. Many populations come together to form a community. Or, in other words, we can say community is a group or associations of populations of 2 or more different species occupying the same geographical area at the same time. In this video, you can see how community looks like. Putting together all of the living and non-living components of the environment give us an ecosystems. Or, in other words, you can say, ecosystems is all the living things including the plants, animals, and organisms in a given area that interact with each other, as well as the non-living environments such as the weathers, earth, sun, soil, climate, atmosphere that surround the living things. While studying about the ecosystems, there are terms like habitat and niche. Habitat describes the place where the species lives within the ecosystems, while niche is the role of an organisms in ecosystems, or how the organisms fits into the ecosystems. An organism's niche describes where it is, how it obtains energy, how it interacts with both its physical environment and with other species. The highest level of organizations in ecology is the biosphere. Biosphere is the global ecological systems of all living creatures. Biodiversity is the variety of life in the area which is determined by the number of the species in that area. It's the totality of the gene species and ecosystems of a region. As biodiversity increases, so it is the health of the ecosystems increase. Think of it as if you are running a business. If you want your business to be healthy and make money, imagine you sell shirts. If you only shirt a black shirt with a heart on it, you are limited, and if these shirts go out of the styles, then you're out of the business. If you have a variety of shirts, as the fashion style changes, you're better able to adapt to these changes and continue to make money. As biodiversity increases, the ecosystems has a greater ability to adapt to the changes. Biodiversity can be broken down into 3 types. First, genetic diversity. Second, species diversity. And third, ecosystems diversity. Genetic diversity is the variety of genes which control inheritable characteristics that are present in a population or species. For example, ladybugs come in a variety of colors. The color is controlled by the genes that gives the species of the ladybugs a greater chance of surviving as environmental conditions change. Think of the variety of dogs. The different shape and color of the dogs are controlled by the genes and either increase or decrease the genetic diversity. Greater genetic diversity increases the odds of survival of the species or populations as the ecosystem changes. Species diversity is the number of the species and the relative abundance of each species in a community. Take a look at the variety of the mushroom collected from the particular forest. Notice how many different species are found in this area. This habitat will represent an area of high species of diversity. As species diversity increases, most likely the health of the ecosystems increases. Ecosystems diversity is the variations in the ecosystems found in regions or the variations in ecosystems over the whole planet. It is a measure of the variety of biotic and abiotic factors present in ecosystems. Rainforests usually have a high ecosystems diversity, and deserts or polar regions usually have a low ecosystems diversity. So there you go. Biodiversity, genetic, species, and ecosystems, and as these three increase, the most likely the health of an ecosystem also increases. Threats to biodiversity. There are 5 major threats to biodiversity. First, habitat loss and the degradations of the environment. Second, climate change. Third, excessive use of fertilizers and industrial and domestic forms of pollutions. Fourth, the overexploitations and unsustainable use of resources. Fifth, the effects of invasive alien species on native species, especially endemics. Protecting endangered species. There are a variety of ways to protect endangered species. The best way to conserve any species is to keep it in its natural habitat. Maintaining the natural habitat means that all the life support systems are provided, so there are national parks, zoos, and botanic gardens. International conservation organizations. First, CITES, also known as the Conventions on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna. The purpose of these organizations is to control the trade in endangered species and any products from them, such as furs, skins, and ivory. Second, Worldwide Fund for Nature, or WWF. WWF is the largest international non-governmental organization or NGO specializing in conservation. Its mission statement is to stop the degradation of the planet's natural environment and to build the futures in which humans live in harmony with the nature. To this end, it funds conservation projects, publicizes environmental issues, and campaigns to save the ecosystems from degradations and species from extinction. I think that's all about our lesson today. Don't forget to do the exercise on my mother. Bye!